The Premier League gambling podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Bet $100 and get $100 at wynnbet.com or download the WynnBET app and start winning today. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by Sports Gambling Podcast's Final Four Watch Party. The Saturday Sweat Out Your Bets and Win Prizes with Ryan, Sean and Colby over on youtube.com Sports Gambling Podcast. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Sunday, March the 26th, and we're back at the old internationals and lower league English domestic stuff again because we've got no Premier League or anything else till next weekend. He had to help me fight through all of this stuff and pretend that we care about it. Is Mr. Barry Penaluna. Barry, how you doing?
I'm not pretending to care about this, Morgan.
You in fact, you came out quite openly last week and said you didn't give a shit, didn't you?
None of this international stuff just drives me nuts. I just can't. I don't know why, Malcolm. There's lots of football to get involved in, and that's
there is.
I just don't enjoy any of it. I watched the England game this afternoon, and it got to 60 minutes, and I decided to just have a sleep instead. The clocks went forward last night, and I lost an hour, as did everybody. And I wanted to claim the hour back instead of watching that last half hour of the football, so I had an hour's sleep.
Fair enough.
Back what I lost. So I just get a bit bored. You look at the crowd at Wembley today and the atmosphere. It's been very flat. Nobody looked like they're enjoying it at all. Anyway, it's been a good few days for England. 2 good wins. Off to a good start. But yeah, it just doesn't bother me. Doesn't interest me.
No, I think I would say 93% of football supporters think exactly the same. But as even everyone I've spoken to, normally, like just your general weekend when I take Bob to football on Saturday morning. I mean, the other dads will say, "Oh, what do you fancy today? Do you think Newcastle will win this, that, and the other?" And there's just nothing. Everyone's just looking at each other. Like I say, you're like a bird in an eclipse. You don't know what to do. Like it's unnatural. It's not normal. So it's a little bit, it's a bit underwhelming, really. I mean, you can still bet on it. To be fair, the lower league stuff is perfectly good fun. I enjoyed watching a couple of the games this weekend, even though they didn't really go our way from a punting point of view. And it was non-league day as well, which is quite a worthy cause to get involved in. If I wasn't working last night, I would have gone and found a local non-league game to watch yesterday. But I can't do 2 things in one day, Baz, as you well know. It's physically impossible for me to do that. So I was working.
The other thing yesterday, Malcolm, was the whole international break. Yesterday, I ended up having to get involved in family stuff because there was no going on. So I spent the day like shopping and stuff with the kids and the missus, like, into town, clothes shopping, looking at trainers.
Why did you have to go?
I felt I had to because I didn't have a good excuse not to for a change. Normally, it's just like, I'll stay at home, I'll watch the football, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And I just thought it's 1 week where I haven't even got any football that I'm going to watch this afternoon. I thought I should keep up appearances, and it was awful. It was exactly everything I expected it to be. Helen knows. Yeah. I mean, Helen said, she says, "Look, I'm not bothered if you come. And particularly if you're going to be miserable the whole time, I'd rather you didn't come." So she knew exactly what I was going to be like. And I just moped around the place. Come on, let's move. Let's get out of here.
It's awful,
you're not buying that. You're not having that. Like, just proper grumpy old dad. Like, you're not having those trainers, £150. Piss off, man. You're 12-year-old. Yeah. Oh, it just drives me mad. I hate shopping. I don't buy anything that isn't online. So everything I buy from anywhere is from behind the computer. I don't go into a shop for anything. Spending 3-4 hours with the girls yesterday doing that was just awful. So bring back the Premier League and get me back to my normal routine of. Be at the match next week. I'm up in.
Are you coming up?
Man United game, so we might catch up then.
I think cumulatively in my 48 years on this planet, Baz, I think I've done under 50 hours shopping in total. I just can't get away with it. Like, in all the Christmas shopping and the Mother's Day and birthdays, that's all gone out the window here now. The IT department just knows. I don't bother on at Christmas. I'll go maybe like 2 or 3 days before Christmas. I'll go upstairs for whatever reason, and there'll be a bag of stuff on the bed that she's bought herself for me to give her, and I just know it's going to be there. I don't have to do anything now. So then I take that bag of stuff into Betty and tell her to wrap it up, and then it reappears back on my bed a couple of hours later, all wrapped up. And I've had nothing to do with any of it, so I've slowly dragged everyone down to my level. Like, but I totally agree with it. It's horrific. I had to take her to the Metro Centre last week when the teachers were on strike, just to try and do something together. Like, and I stood in Primark. It was like the Oklahoma land rush of 13-year-old girls. It was absolutely incredible. Like, so yeah, totally agree with it.
I mean? But yeah, that's me done for at least another year before I do that again.
Agree with you. Captain Sano has joined us. Aye, Captain. Good evening. Yes, Captain, I have absolutely mailed it in already. But I'm at a certain age, you know what I mean? You get to this age, you shouldn't have to do anything you don't want to do, I don't think. But footy-wise, and yeah, you said England picked up 2 good wins. The one in Italy, particularly on Thursday night, was a good win. England don't win in Italy very often. I think it was the first time, I can't remember what the stat was, 60-odd years or something anyway. Scotland won a game, 3-0 against Cyprus. This is my, I've called on this bit, Baz, the Home Nations review, if you're interested. Scotland won. Wales sneaked a point, which shafted you. Bad result for Northern Ireland tonight, lost to home to Finland. I'll call this bit North American review. USA and Canada won. That's that. And I'll call this next bit top story. France smashed the Netherlands 4-0. That was probably the top story, Baz. So did you enjoy that review?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the top story would have been the valiant effort from Eswatini.
Well, we're getting onto that in a minute. It's ostrich steaks and fancy porridge all around, isn't it? Yeah. I loaded up the stream before, and I sometimes do these little banners if I've got time. And the bottom banner just said porridge chat from last week, and it made myself giggle because I forgot about the porridge chat. So I've deleted the porridge chat banner. But yeah, we'll go through my international picks. I'll tell you what, let's do this ad read first. We'll let the headline breathe, Baz, for another 30 seconds or so, while I tell you about the WinBet, the official online sports book of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. WinBet active in Massachusetts and tons of other states. Be on the lookout for WinBet Happy Hour, Thursday from 5 till 6 p.m. Eastern Time. During WinBet Win Hour, marquee games of the week. We'll have better odds on WinBet, giving you a larger payout opportunity. And March Madness this year, loads of ways to bet on the big dance. Sign up today to receive that special offer. Bet $100 and get $100. And for our DJs, if you get the biggest long shot parlay of the week, you'll get a $1,000 free credit. Loads to choose from. Head to winbet.com or download the WinBet app. Offer subject to change. T's and C's at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older, present in the state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you're someone who has a gambling problem, call 1-800-532-4700. If you're looking to hang out with Sean and Ryan at Stadium Swim and watch the biggest golf tournament in the world, you can win that insane 3-night stay at the Circa Las Vegas to hang with the guys. The contest is completely free to enter. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/golf party. If you don't win the contest, you can still get a discount on a room using the promo code SGP15. And the Final Four watch party as well. Hang out with the guys on the YouTube channel for the entire Saturday of Final Four action. Live bets, prize giveaways, and much more. Subscribe to youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast and tune in on Saturday. Just harking back to that Masters read, Baz. I watched a bit of the golf today, and I know you had some bets. You had some fancy prices, didn't you? And they got sort of turned over yesterday. But I had a DFS lineup with McIlroy and Scheffler in. It was going along really, really nicely. And then they were both 2 shots up with about 4 holes left in the 2 semi-finals today. And somehow managed to both fuck it up. So, yeah, I was getting quite excited for a little while. But it's going to knock me down. So I'm going to win about $30 and not $300. But, yeah, the golf's been good. Yeah, I'm looking...
Yeah, I had Kitty Armour at 200, got as far as the quarters. Went ahead early in the quarter final. I thought I might get a bit of a run out of him, but then fizzled out a bit.
He only lost one down as well. It's not like he got smashed.
Made it to the last hole, and yeah, it would have been nice to get him into Sunday at that price, but it wasn't to be. But I got a decent run out of him, got a bit of entertainment out of it.
Well, we'll knock some Masters picks out in 2 weeks, Baz. That's April the 5th, that weekend. So we'll do some Masters bets as well here. Right then. Ostrich Stakes. Friday, the international pick started. I'm claiming, Baz, 3.5 out of 4 of my international picks. But it did start with Cape Verde 0, Eswatini 0. African football expert has gone straight into my bio on Twitter and on my resume. Eswatini on the Asian handicap was the bet, and should have been a bit braver, shouldn't I? I took the extra goal and a half at a price of -117, 11 to 13. But yeah, I should have been a bit braver, really. Cape Verde had a couple of half chances. Eswatini never looked like scoring. I watched this on Friday afternoon. Savage amusement this was. Watched it on like the 2-inch screen on Bet365 as well. But yeah, there wasn't an awful lot happened. But it was the perfect read. If there was any other score going to be, it was going to be Cape Verde 1-0. So yeah, I couldn't have got this any better, really. Like I say, I wish I'd just been a bit braver in taking the draw or something like that, or Eswatini with half a goal.
Yeah, I've got an apology to make to the people of Eswatini as well.
Is it about the capital being Lesotho?
Yes, it is about the capital. I said it was Lesotho. It's not Lesotho though. You've let them down again there.
No, it's not, because you see, I should have had the courage to #me too when you said this at the start. Because when I was doing my homework for this, Lesotho's got its own results in there. There's form line. Lesotho played today, I think, actually.
Yeah, funny enough, that's how I noticed. I was looking at today's fixtures.
So I knew you were wrong, but I doubted myself, Baz. You should never do that. If there's any young people listening, if anyone like Barry tries to tell you about African capitals, shout at them. It's unacceptable.
The Eswatini capital is Mbabane.
Sorry, say again.
Mbabane.
Doesn't he play for PSG?
No, it's not. So yeah, I got that wrong. But I was caught out on the hop, like quickly trying to find some Eswatini trivia, and I messed it up. But I was right about the national dish and the population. So I got 2 out of 3 right. But yeah, we'll go. Fair
enough. So I enjoyed that one. I tried really, really hard tonight to get a pick out of the Trinidad and Tobago versus Nicaragua game, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get an angle. I looked at it for 20 minutes and I just couldn't find an angle. And I was laughing at myself saying, you can't in good faith go on there and just pick a pick for the sake of it. It's a no bet. Trinidad and Tobago and Nicaragua is a no bet. My half point comes from Israel 1, Kosovo 1. I talked up goals. But I gave out over 2.5, but I did give out both teams to score as well, which is why I'm claiming a half. Solomon got the assist for the goal when I gave him out as my goal scorer. So yeah, that's not a disaster. Like Spain 3, Norway 0. This was beautiful. Spain to win to 0 was the pick at 10 to 11. Spain were 1-0 up to late doors, and our mate Joselu come on and scored 2 goals for us. What's all that about?
That was his first ever appearance for Spain. 32-year-old making his debut for Spain. 10 minutes on the pitch, 2 goals. He never showed any of that at Newcastle, did he?
Well, no, he signed for Newcastle from Stoke. But when he signed, we knew he was shite. So it was never really a problem, him being shite. It's like, it's not your fault that you're shite, mate. We understand. He did have that good Joselu. He might score 1, he might score 2. That was a decent song. I enjoyed. So yeah, he come off the bench and scored 2 goals. But Spain 3, Norway 0 was a good pick. And then my fourth one, and the final winner here was Grenada 1, USA 7, where I took USA -3. And again, this is the one we should have gone up the ladder. We chose the long ladder game. We went to Tel Aviv for our ladder. We should have been in the Caribbean the whole time, Baz. But a good one for USA. This got some chat in the Discord last night. Everyone was talking about Captain America. Are they talking about Christian Pulisic, these American people, when they're on about Captain America?
I don't know. I'm assuming.
I think we were just humouring them at that point, weren't we? But yeah, he got the score sheet. Grenada got one back when they were 3-0, and I thought, oh, don't start this silliness. But then USA ran off with it 7-1. So yeah, I'm saying 3.5 out of 4. So yeah, back in form, and I've stayed in Europe tonight. Unfortunately, like I say, I couldn't find anything in Trinidad and Tobago or elsewhere. But we'll get to my international picks in a bit, Baz. You went down the divisions and you took a few hits, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't quite. It didn't pan out quite as expected. Started off in League One with Peterborough Derby. League One was bad for me this weekend, and I did say last week I do much better midweek. Weekends come along and I can't buy a win at all. Like Peterborough Derby, I took the over 2.5. In fact, every one of I had 3 games on the Saturday, various different bets, mostly including goals. All 3 of them were 0-0 at half time, so all looked pretty terrible at that point. Finished 2-0, Peterborough Derby. There was enough chances in amongst them to maybe get more. They had 11 shots on target between them, but that one wasn't to be. Sticking with League One today, I took Chef Wed in the Asian handicap.
This was unbelievable.
An absolutely shocking result for Chef Wed. I mean, Chef Wed had been 23 games unbeaten. They'd lost against Barnsley, as we know, through the week. We went with Barnsley in that one. But to go and get beat off Forest Green, who have not won a game in months, like absolutely terrible Forest Green. And yeah, got what they deserved, really. Didn't create much in the game. They got beat 1-0. That was a real shock for me. I didn't see that one coming at all. I really fancied Chef Wed today. Put them in everything.
If you'd watched that game, Baz, it was one of those, like, it was like the writing was on the wall quite early on, because you see, I think Forest Green played quite well. Yeah. Duncan Ferguson has been, I think he'd been 8 games without a win. They were 1-0 up in his first game in charge, and they conceded 2 in injury time against Shrewsbury. And then after that, it's just completely and utterly fallen apart. But you 15 minutes into that game, I reckon if I'd offered you a cash out, you'd have had it, because you could just kind of tell. It seemed to be the writing on the wall, and Sheffield Wednesday were dreadful in the second half.
You can make no excuses for Chef Wed in the game at all. But as I said before this game, 16 without a win or something for Forest Green, I think it was. But yeah, you can have no complaints. They weren't hard done by. They weren't unlucky in any way, Chef Wed. They just weren't very good. So yeah, really, really disappointed with that one. League Two was a little bit better for me. Saturday, the first one in League Two, a bit frustrated with this because Hartlepool, Leyton Orient. I took Leyton Orient. I thought they were a good price. I also backed them to score 2 or more. It finished 1-1. And I did say in my analysis of that, Leyton Orient had drew the last 3 games. Hartlepool had drawn the last 4. So there was signs there of a draw coming. Yeah. And you said, you talked up Hartlepool a little bit as well. Said, they're not getting hammered by anyone. They're making a bit of a fight of it down there. That's 5 draws in a row for them now. So yeah, that one wasn't any good. And then the final one for me was Stevenage Salford. And it was possibly the one I liked the most. I'd said Stevenage in the last sort of, I can't remember how many games you look at. They were scoring lots of goals, the highest scoring, team on both sides, conceding goals and scoring goals. I think it was something like 32 goals in the last 8 games or something for Salford. So I took the over 2.5 and the over 3.5. The over 2.5 hit at 21-20 and the over 3.5 hit at 5-2. And it's another one that was 0-0 at half time. I mean, it was late goals, bit fortunate, 90 minutes and 92 minutes, those last 2. But yeah, had they just picked up something in that first half, we might have got a bit higher up that ladder. But that rescued things a little bit. Hitting a 5-2 for over 3.5 was a nice little win. And that one was one that did follow the form. Salford games have just been full of goals, and it's something now I've noticed I will keep an eye on over the next few weeks for Salford.
Yeah, Hartlepool were unlucky not to win. They hit the post and the bar in the last few minutes in that one. I just took another line. We mentioned this on Sunday night or Thursday night, sorry. That the relegation odds for League Two, because I still think Harrogate at 21 are huge. Now, I've got a contact at Harrogate, and I spoke to him on Saturday morning. And he said if Crawley win today, we're in the shit. And Crawley won. Hartlepool, like I say, are feisty. It looks like a match between Harrogate and Hartlepool. So I checked the odds again. They were 20-1 on Thursday, and they're still 20-1 Harrogate. Harrogate didn't play this weekend because Newport County called the game off for international commitment. So who's disappearing off from Newport County to play where? They probably had half the Eswatini lineup or something like. So Harrogate didn't play, but you say Hartlepool have drawn 5 in a row, but it's still a little points gap, but 20-1's too big for Harrogate Town. So yeah, I'll throw that one out there again.
We'll come up with Crawley soon as well, because I've got Crawley covered this week.
Okay.
Crawley will get a bit of a mention later for our League 2 coverage for midweek.
All right, we've got some live parenting here, Buzz. The daughter is trying to cut a bagel up over there, and it's one of the worst displays of manual dexterity I've ever seen. Do you want me to do it? This is normally one of my very few jobs, Buzz, is the chopping up of the bagel. Can you do it? Stop.
No, do it.
Do you want me to do it? Right. You say things, Buzz. I'm going to cut this bagel up here.
So where are we going from here? What have you got for us this week, Markham?
What have I got for? All my games are from the Euro qualifiers on Tuesday night.
Right. Well, I'm going to kick us off then, because I've got...
Bagel is good. Oh, there's crumbs everywhere. Right. Clear off. Euro qualifiers, all on Tuesday. Just get the crumbs off me notes there. And let's have a look. Oh, hang on. In the chat, Captain Insano wants to know what's going on top of the bagel. Butter.
Just butter.
That's it. Butter, yeah. That was a very, very Geordie accent there, B. Butter. So I'm going to start at 1:05 p.m. game, and I'm going to go back to Norway again. The game is Georgia against Norway. Georgia are 5-2 plus 250. The draw 12-5 plus 240, and Norway are 20-19 plus 105. And I like Georgia in this spot. No squirty cream cereal, no cream cheese, just the butter. The squirty cream's back. I think Georgia are alive here. Their form, they've got some really good form. And I would be wanting to fade Norway, whoever it was, for the similar reasons I faded them this weekend. The Nations League, I mean, they're a Group C team, Georgia, so they're obviously below sort of top class, but they've got you don't have to look too far behind. They've got a 0-0 v Bulgaria, a 2-0 win over North Macedonia. They battered Bulgaria 5-2 away from home. And then the World Cup qualifiers, they've got a 2-0 win over Sweden, a 1-1 with Greece. Spain only turned them over 2-1. So that's not bad form at all. Your man from Napoli, Kvaratskhelia, there's more V's and K's than that. You know, what are you laughing at? Go on then, what's his name?
Kvaratskhelia.
Right, that's what I said. He's the star man, obviously. They had a friendly yesterday, but we're not going to read too much into the 6-1 win over Mongolia, Baz. Norway, however, I was happy to fade them at the weekend. A combination of poor form and no Erling Haaland. And I'll go again. However, I've taken a slightly... I'm not brave enough to take Georgia to win here. This could easily finish 0-0, by the way. Absolutely easily finish 0-0. I've got Georgia on the double chance market, which is very short. It's 13-18, minus 138. But then maybe Georgia on the draw no bet market is 6-4 plus 150. So that's going to be me pick, that one. Like I say, fade in Norway. And I don't mind Georgia's home form at all. So, it's not the most exciting of picks, but I do think Georgia can come out of this game not losing. So whichever way around you want to play that. And like I say, the 0-0 draw is very much in play there. Any thoughts on Georgia, Norway, Baz?
Yeah, Norway are going to win.
All right. Shit, you should have said, could have saved everyone 5 minutes there, Baz.
Got them in my parlay later on. That's all I'm telling you at this point.
Oh.
I think Norway will get a win, even without Haaland. I just looked at the similar games to you, and I think the wins for Georgia are coming against teams you'd expect them to win. I mean, Christ, they only beat Gibraltar 2-1.
Good team, Gibraltar, shut up.
North Macedonia, the drew with Bulgaria. I've looked at the opposite way. You're looking at them getting wins, but they're against teams that they should be beaten. I know Norway are nothing special either, but I think they've got... I just think that's slightly better. I think they're an all right price. And Norway need to get off the mark. I think Norway will have ambitions of finishing second in this group. They won't be surprised to lose away to Spain, but they need to get off the mark in this one. So, as I say, I've got them in my parlay. Nothing.
Yeah, right. Well, that's helped no one then, Baz. The last 7 minutes of this show have helped absolutely nobody. Right. So, how about this one? Turkey against Croatia is the game. This is a we're on Tuesday night again, 7:45 Eastern time. Oh, the bagel's been well and truly burnt here, Baz. It's absolute mayhem. Oh my goodness, have a look at this.
Oh, that's all. That's all. Oh, that's the other side.
Yeah, that's the other side. Oh, it's hot as well. Get away, you cracker. Turkey v Croatia. 2:45 Eastern time kickoff. Turkey are 9-4 plus 225. The draw is 12-5 plus 240. Croatia 6-5 plus 120. Turkey won 2-1 in Armenia yesterday. But they're struggling against poor opposition as well. Home draw with Luxembourg, 3-3. That's horrible. Lost against the Faroe Islands. And the last twice they played similar level of opposition to Croatia. They lost 3-1 to Portugal and they got battered 6-1 off the Netherlands. Now, Croatia let you down particularly when they conceded in the last minute against Wales on the weekend. But I'm happy to give them another chance here. They are a good side. We've just watched them coming off a successful World Cup campaign. And like I said, just that disparity in Turkey's form. So I'm going to take Croatia on the money line. I think they're a good price at 6-5 to knock over Turkey, who do struggle when they come up against these top-class European teams, Baz.
Yeah, so actually Croatia it was a coin toss between Norway and Croatia for the final pick on my parlay. So I did like Croatia and then went slightly towards Norway in the end. But I don't mind Croatia as a pick. Good price at plus money.
Okay. And then finally, my third pick of the evening. It's the same time on Tuesday night. Scotland against Spain. We thought we'd give the sweaty socks a run out. They had a win against Cyprus the other day. Scotland are 9-2 plus 450. The draw is 11-4 plus 275. And Spain are 11-17 minus 153. It's a mismatch, Baz, I think. I mean, Scotland did beat Cyprus 3-0. Took them 2 very late goals to do it. They were 1-0 up until the 87th minute when Scott McTominay scored a couple. So they've been doing okay. But again, it's just the level of opposition that's totally different. So Spain are not at full strength, as exhibited by Joselu's appearance. But they're good enough here, Baz, to beat Scotland comfortably. I think the 2 plays, take your pick, one or the other, are either Spain on the Asian handicap, minus 1.5 goals. So that's a big price, Baz. That's 13-7 plus 185. I love that a lot. And then Spain team total is 5-6 minus 120. I mean, Scotland is still just trotting out very average kind of championship players as a lot of their team. So they always good atmosphere at home. They're always competitive. But I mean, this is just a mismatch, Baz. And I think the prices are closer together after Scotland got that win at the weekend. But I can't see Spain not winning by at least 2.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Again, I've marked Spain down as being a good price just on the money line. If you're putting them in any parlays or something like
100% wrote the same thing down. Yeah.
They're a bit short as a standalone pick, but to stick in anything, I would take them. Struggle sometimes with Scotland, Spain in terms of backing them on handicaps because they've let me down so much in the past with that shitty 1-0s and all of that. But I think you're quite right. You would expect them in this game to have far too much, and especially after coming through that one the other day, 3-0, to gives you a bit more confidence that they might be a bit more aggressive. I don't mind that at all. Is that all you've got for your internationals?
That is what I've got. I've got a parlay, but we'll throw that out at the end.
Yeah, I've got a parlay as well, which I'll chuck out there. I should mention my parlay from last week, as you say. It got done on the line in a couple of games. I thought if my parlay was going down anyway, it was going to be Belgium. And I got off to a really good start Friday night. Belgium winning 3-0 at 6-5 was a really, really good start. We then had the Croatia. Croatia should have been out of sight in that game. I've seen someone on Twitter saying, did Croatia realise they can't win this game on penalties, which was their sort of MO during the World Cup.
Nice. Funny.
Yeah, so that obviously it went down at that point. Probably just as well, because if that had won, I'd have been even more sick today because I had England and Denmark. Denmark were 2-0 up in the 83rd minute and lost 3-2 to Kazakhstan.
Yep.
Kazakhstan hit 1,000 to 1 in play on Betfair.
Wow.
Today. and come back later on to win that one. So that would have been a bigger blow. If I hadn't lost that parlay yesterday, I'd have been absolutely sick. Although, to be fair, with our book, we'd have been paid out at 2-0 up.
Yes, you would have done, yeah, right, over the line.
Only just consider that at the moment. We'd have been paid out. So, yeah, hit the post with 2 late defeats in my post. I wasn't a million miles away, considering how much I hate this international football. And we'll have another go.
Yes.
Later.
You've got to be wary of all the stands lately, Baz. They're very competitive. The stands they've improved a lot. Any of the international stands.
Kazakhstan's the greatest country in the world, isn't it?
It absolutely is, yeah. Serial's asking about my thoughts on Israel this week, having stayed away officially. I did look. They travelled to Switzerland, and I did look at this, and I looked at. I think both teams to score again because of all the reasons from the other night. And both teams to score here is minus 110. So 10-11. And again, Switzerland could turn them over. This could be this could be the 4-2. Switzerland could beat them the other night. So it would pain me if we got the result that I was looking for against Kosovo on Saturday. But yeah, Switzerland, Israel. I do like goals just because it followed suit. Like I say, both teams scored again. So if you're looking for a punt, I wouldn't put you off goals in that Switzerland-Israel game. Who's Serial's pick here? Denmark. Yeah, Denmark struggling in the in that group. Yeah, that was a 1,000-1 on Kazakhstan. You've enjoyed a bit of that. Right, we'll let you take us into the English lower leagues, Baz. Once I have told you about. Hang on. Hold your horses, son. Hold your horses. It's ad reads time. Do you know what? We've got new ad reads tonight, and I haven't kind of looked first, really, which was a bit slapdash off me. Underdog Fantasy, though, is here. Underdog Fantasy continues their March Madness College Pick'em. It's a great way to get in on the action, especially if your bracket is busted. Plus, Underdog Fantasy has your favourite college basketball player props and great NBA and NHL daily games. Head to underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit bonus. Underdogfantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. Okay, Baz, go. What you got?
Yeah, League One. So with that Chef Wed defeat this weekend, and also Derby getting beat yesterday off Peterborough, that top end of League One is getting more and more exciting by the week. Like, it's really opening up. As I say, Chef Wed 2 defeats on the bounce, having looked pretty safe at the top. It's really throwing the cat amongst the pigeons. It's wide open now. So just to let you know where we currently lie, Plymouth are currently top of the league with 80 points, played 38 games. Chef Wed in second, 2 points behind, but played a game less. Ipswich are then 3 points behind Chef Wed. They've also got a game in hand on Plymouth. And then 3 points behind them, Barnsley in fourth. So then a bit of a drop back. It's 8 points down to fifth. So it looks like a 4-horse race for the 2 automatic promotion spots. Although there's 8 points covering between fourth and top. Barnsley do have 2 games in hand on Plymouth at the top. So Barnsley with the games in hand and second and third both with a game in hand on top means it could really tighten up over the next few weeks. And around the playoff spots, as I say, Bolton and Derby are a bit out of the automatic promotion spots now. But they've got Peterborough breathing down their neck. Wickham coming up not far behind. There's 3 points covering the next 4 and only 2 places in the playoff for them. So it is really interesting. And the first game we've got here is Exeter v Barnsley. So here's the opportunity. Barnsley have got one of their games.
Baz, can I break in? We've got some breaking news, Baz.
What we got?
Antonio Conte has left Tottenham Hotspur. He's got the 9-10 jack. What you done, your buddy? On we said that you might hang on. To be fair, I think the day after we talked about it was fairly obvious we were wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the writing's been on the wall for a few days now. I think everyone's knew it was coming. And then when the buy-in news broke, there seems to have been a lot of talk about Nagelsmann, hasn't it? Because the one thing you'd said last week is who they're going to get, who's available now, and suddenly Nagelsmann's available.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see if that is where they go. It wouldn't be a bad appointment, would it? I don't think. I mean, it's still bizarre that he's been sacked, having lost about 2 games all season and won every game in the Champions League. Beat PSG both legs, and they're just unbelievable that he's being kicked out. So yeah, let's see what happens over the next few days. But
who cares about that when we've got Exeter City v Barnsley to bet on, Baz?
Barnsley, yes. So
at St James's Park, the other St James's Park, not St James's Park, Newcastle. Exeter also play.
Are you going to shut up now?
Yeah.
Cheers. Exeter are currently sitting 11th in the league. They're not going to threaten the playoff positions, but they won't get into any relegation peril either. They've won 3 of the last 5 with a draw and a defeat in amongst those. They won 5-0 yesterday against Accrington Stanley. Who are they?
Everybody.
Over 2.5 is hitting the last 3 games for Exeter. But prior to that, the under 2.5 had hit 5 in a row. Barnsley have covered last week with some success. I took them, I said I fancied them to get something against Sheff Wed, despite the fact Sheff Wed were unbeaten in 23 at the time. And we also backed the Barnsley goals. And as I say, with Sheff Wed losing again today, Barnsley are firmly in the race for top 2 now and an automatic promotion spot. Currently on a 12-game unbeaten run. They've scored 30 in those 12 games. And that 12-game run unbeaten is far better when you see there's only 2 draws in amongst that. 10 wins and 2 draws in the last 12. And as I said last week, they're firing at the moment. Going back to this 12-game unbeaten run, they've got 7 of them. They've scored 3 or more. In 9 of those games, they've scored 2 or more. And I think 3 times they've actually scored 4 or more. So they're hitting big numbers for goals regularly here. I think with the door open a little bit at the top, I think they'll take the opportunity here, carry on a good form. And I think the money line price is good value at 11-8 for Barnsley here. That said, I don't think it'll necessarily be a walk in the park. Exeter are a good side at home. They've won the last 3. But I just think Barnsley are flying at the moment. They've got a sniff of that, promotion spot. And I just think, similar to last week, possibly goals might be the best route again into Barnsley here. So I'm going to get on the goals ladder again. And this game out of the 4 I've covered this week is probably the one I like the most. So again, I'm going with Barnsley over 1.5 goals at 5-4. Barnsley to score 3 or more at 9-2 plus 450. And let's have a little sprinkle on the 3.5 at 14-1. As I say,
nice.
3 of the last 12 games they've scored 4 or more. And the 2 or more is just hitting so often, 9 out of 12. And you're getting plus money for that. I'll take that all day long. So Barnsley goals for me over 1.5, 2.5 and 3.5 on that one. So
well, I've just cast a cursory glance over that, Baz, for the first time and clicked on it and nearly fell off my chair at the price of over 2.5 goals, even money. Just looks like a absolutely cracking bet. Like, again, all the reasons you outlined on Barnsley last week. Exeter won 5-0 at the weekend, and then you put the 2 teams together and you give me even money on over 2.5 goals. So if you want a prudent bet, that immediately just jumped off the page to me, and then let Baz take you up the ladder. So yeah, I love it, Baz. What's next?
As I say, Exeter are in good form, so I can definitely see them making a contribution towards it. So yeah, definitely don't mind that at all. Next up in League One is I didn't give out the prices for that last game, did I? But anyway, I've told you what price Barnsley are, 11-8.
Yeah, we don't need to know the losing prices, just the winners.
So Cheltenham v Sheff Wed is the next one.
Sheff Wed on the shit list.
Yes. Cheltenham 9-2 plus 450. The draw is 5-2 plus 250 and 4-6 Sheff Wed minus 150. Cheltenham are currently down in 17th, 8 points clear of the relegation places though, so looking pretty safe. They've hit a good patch of form of late. They're unbeaten in 4 games. They've won 3, drawn 1, and they've scored 3 in each of their last 2 games. Before those 4 unbeaten, though, it was just 1 win in 10 games. So bit of a turnaround lately. Not a long stretch of form, but 4 games unbeaten is looking decent. Sheff Wed, on the other hand, gone from 23 games unbeaten to losing 2 in a row. And as I say, whilst there was no shame in the defeat to Barnsley, losing the bottom of the league, Forest Green today was a terrible result. And it's got to be a bit of a blow to their confidence. And as I say, it just blows the top of that league open a bit, where Sheff Wed were looking pretty secure just a couple of games ago. I've got a few notes here about today's game, but we've already covered that, so I'm going to skip over that. Both the defeats were on the road. And they are on their travels again here. And therefore, I just think 4-6 for Sheff Wed to win away from home after 2 defeats on the road in a row. And let's remember, before those 2 defeats, they failed to beat Bolton. So it's now a 3-game winless streak. I mentioned last week how Sheff Wed are struggling in front of goal. They've only scored 6 goals in the last 6 games, I think it is. They've scored twice, just once in the last 6. So they're not very often getting more than 1 goal a game. So I looked at the unders here, thinking I might get a decent price for it, but that's also short. It's 4-6, minus 150. So in the search of something at plus money, I've gone where I didn't quite expect to when I first started looking at the game, and I've decided to fade Sheff Wednesday. I think 4-6 is just too short for a team without a win in 3.
Well, it's a bit like Baz when we faded obviously Newcastle recently, and when they were at Bournemouth, and I know they got the win at Forest, but we said they might win absolutely, but you can't pick them at that price, and this falls into that. And the evidence, the eye test as well today, they weren't good today. They weren't robbed. No, they didn't get chinned 1-0. They were beaten 1-0 soundly today. So on that evidence, no way I'm backing them at 4-6. Like I say, they might win 3-0, but they're not having my money on whether they do it.
Yeah, just short, really short. As I say, they've not won in 3. Exeter unbeaten in Cheltenham unbeaten in 4. And you see they might win 3-0. Another stat I found, they went on that 23-game unbeaten run. They never won a single away game in that time by more than a single goal.
Okay.
Not one in that 23-game run. They just don't win away from home comfortably. So that tells me teams can keep it close against them. And if you keep it close, you give yourself a chance. So Cheltenham on the double chance market to get the win or the draw is a pick for me here. It's 23-20. So what we're looking at, plus 115 in American money.
Yep.
I think it's a good enough price. It's better to me than the 4-6. And as I say, Sheff Wed might bounce back here. They are a good side, and a couple of bad results doesn't make them a bad side. But I think the value for me is taking Cheltenham to get something here. And particularly, as I say, the Sheff Wed on the road don't go hammering anyone, or they haven't done in a while, as you probably will end up being 3-0 now, I've said that. But that's where I'm going. Cheltenham on the double chance to win or draw for me.
Yeah, but even if Sheff Wed do win 3-0, Baz, I still think you've made the right pick on form. And like I say, sometimes you do. I mean, it's not often you get a chance to sit down and watch 90 minutes of a League One game, and done that today, and absolutely fair for a screen with a better team. What are you giggling at?
I mean, what? No, that game today, Sheff Wed. If you give me that game again, I would pick the same thing again, because of course, yeah, everything in the forms said Sheff Wed would win that game and win it well. And I just, as you say, there's no regrets with the pick, but watching the game, you could make no excuses for Sheff Wed at all. They got what they deserved from it. But yeah, I think it's got to be a blow, and it might affect them going into midweek. Busy schedule for them as well, with back-to-back midweeks, where other teams are sitting playing Saturday. And Saturday, this is a busy run for Sheff Wed at the moment, so could also come into play. But that was it for me for League One. We've just got the 2 games there. Anything to add, or should I crack on straight into League Two, Malcolm?
No, I just want to give a shout out to Nick Morris in the chat. New name, enjoying the lower league action. Wants a good ladder, Bars. He wants your ladder, so Barnes is the ladder. Unless you're laddering it up. What have you got? Have you got anything else?
I've got League Two. I've got 2 League Two games.
How's the League Two as well? Okay, hit me.
Definitely, we're not stopping there, Malcolm.
No, why would we?
Well, I've done all right with League Two this week. That was where my winners were this weekend with Salford.
I've got a League Two banner, so you can go.
Good stuff. First game up in League Two is AFC Wimbledon v Walsall. 13-8 for AFC Wimbledon. That's plus 167. 21-10. Plus 210 for the draw, and 7-4 Walsall plus 175. Wimbledon currently sit 18th, but they are 11 points above the relegation zone. And Walsall are up in 13th, firmly rooted in mid-table. Neither side are particularly high scoring, both averaging around a goal a game, with both scoring 39 goals this season, having played 37 or 38 games. AFC Wimbledon are an awful run of form. 11 without a win. They've lost 7 of those, drew 4. Looking more shorter term, they've lost 6 of the last 7. They haven't had a clean sheet in 8, meaning that both teams to score has also hit in their last 8 games. And it's also just 1 win in 15 for Walsall. absolute draw specialists, Walsall. They've drawn 9 of their last 12 games. There was a 6-game streak of draws in amongst those 12 games as well. And also, with Walsall, the under 2.5 has hit 13 out of their last 15. Wow. So that's where I thought I'd look first of all, and then I seen the bookies were firmly onto that. The unders is 1 to 2 minus.
Wow.
And I think with good reason.
Oh, Baz has disappeared. What's happened there? Baz has gone, everyone. The Gremlins have got him. I'm sure he'll rejoin in a minute. I'm going to have to say stuff now for a bit. Yeah, so Wimbledon, Walsall. Just looking at the table there, this is the bottom end of that League Two table that I was talking about. Wimbledon and loitering in 18th, which are only 2 places above Harrogate Town, which are my fancies to go down. But they have got a little 5-point cushion in there. Really, it's 20th and below. It's Harrogate Town and below for the relegation there. Colchester, Crawley, Hartlepool and Rochdale. But Hartlepool 1 to 5, minus 500 to go down. It's just too short, I think. They've been way feisty. I mean, God, does anyone want to say some stuff in the comments while we're... Oh, here he comes. Hang on, hold the phone. He's about to re-enter. Come on, Baz. I can see his face. Baz, what's going on? He's back. I can see him. I can't hear him. This is a fiasco. Siri, I think I'd rather shout at Baz than talk US men's national team serial. Are you there, Baz? Oh, hang on a minute. He's coming in again. He's coming in on 2 devices, people. This is it's unheralded. Oh, he's giving us the 1 minute sign. US men's national team series. Good win, 7-1. They haven't got a game this week, though, I don't think. There must just only be 1 game in the CONCACAF region. I know Mexico were a good price, you know. Who they play tonight? Oh, they were 1 to 3 on. But they look like good bets on the Asian handicap. Oh, hang on, Baz. Is he back? Baz, what's going on? Oh, it's 1 minute again. I heard you sniff then. How can you not be? Oh, there's been some technical. Oh, look at the YouTube watchers are dropping off here by the dozen. Oh, so who they playing tomorrow, Serial? You keep typing stuff. I mustn't have got that far down on my list. El Salvador. And they're going to win? I want to say so. I'm going to find that. International list. Let's have a look. Oh, Barry's gone again. This is a fiasco. Greece v Lithuania. Friendlies. African Nations Cup. No sign of Cape Verde on there. I tell you what, our local books here don't want to price up that CONCACAF stuff at all. It's nowhere to be seen. Mexico playing Jamaica. Shortened up as well. 1 to 4 from 1 to 3. I don't know what to tell you now. I'm going to be honest. I'm struggling a bit here. What I'll do, I might edit this bit out. It's entirely possible we could edit this bit out, everyone. Does Squirty Cream go? Squirty Cream does go on hot chocolate. That's pretty much its entire raison d'etre cereal is in this country anyway to go on the hot chocolate. Like we tend to have that over the marshmallows. So yeah, that's the purpose of that. What else? I could sing you the rest of that Josselou song. That was quite good. Had a discussion with Baz earlier on about possibility of a receding hairline here. I think I need to start putting my camera on this side because I'm not sure about. See this bit up here. I've been quite well known for my glorious head of hair in the past. It's kind of been one of my calling cards. Bear in mind, all my mates like Baz haven't got a hair on the head between them. But when we come on before, the light was just shining through. I think it's the stress of getting Baz involved. Right, do we think Baz... Oh, he's not connected again. Oh, my God, it's a shambles. What's Serial saying now? You should win like Squirty Cream on hot chocolate. I'll send you some. Okay. Come on, Baz. Right, he's there. Oh, my goodness. Luckily, if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'm going to edit it all out so you wouldn't even hear this. The only 3 people who are unfortunate enough to be witnessing this are Serial, I think Captain Insano, if he's still here, and Nick, if he's still here. I got a message off bag on. Oh, Nick's there. Oh, the IT. 2 minutes, Barry says. Have we got 2 minutes? Oh, you see, Nick must be a regular listener because he's just name checked the IT department. Now, at this point, the IT department can't help with Barry's IT because Barry's 200 miles away. Go to the match next Sunday, Newcastle v Man United. That'd be good. That's a proper big game. It's a Sunday afternoon, which means everyone's going to be a little bit extra beery. Got time for an extra few pints. It's a later kick-off. And it's a big revenge spot as well. And Barry's returned. Baz, you've got some explaining to do. These good people have you understood what Serial means now. He's going to send me some of his hair. We've had a lot of hair chat, Baz. We've had squirty cream chats. I've really struggled. I'm going to be honest. You owe me several apologies.
I'm sorry about that. To be honest, I had a feeling it was going to happen. My computer's playing a bit funny all night tonight. And I was going to say earlier on, something's going to go wrong here. And sure.
Right, I'll tell you what to do, Baz. Right, shut up for 5 seconds and I'll say something and we'll edit it out. And then I'll say something. It'll sound dead professional on the podcast. And as long as the 3 people in the YouTube chat don't tell anyone, then it's going to be great. Now, can you remember what you said last before you disappeared?
No. What we're going to do is you're going to have to wait until my notes open up again because I've had to restart my computer.
For fuck's sake!
I've now got no notes here. This will work in a second. What I'll do, I'll from Hartlepool right up. Well, not Hartlepool. Where was that? I can't even remember what game it was. This is a shambles, Malcolm. Absolute shambles.
Wimbledon, Walsall.
Right, let's kick off then.
Right, so Barry, and you've got some games in League Two, and I think starting with Wimbledon v Walsall. Is this correct?
That's correct. Yes, AFC
yes.
Wimbledon 13-8 plus 167. The draw is 21-10 plus 210, and Walsall 7-4 plus 175. Wimbledon sit 18th, but 11 points above the relegation zone. Walsall 13th and firmly rooted in the mid-table. Neither side are particularly high scoring, both averaging around a goal a game. They've both got 39 goals this season in around 37 or 38 games. AFC Wimbledon are an awful run. They're 11 without a win. They've lost 7, drawn 4 in that 11-game run. They've also lost 6 of their last 7. No clean sheets in the last 8, and both teams to score has hit in all of their last 8 games. Also, just 1 win in 15 for Walsall. A little bit of draw specialists, Walsall. They've drawn 9 of the last 12 games, including a 6-game streak of draws in amongst that. Those 15 games with only 1 win only saw the overs hit twice, 13 unders in a row. But the unders is very short at 1-2. And I think it's good reason for it to be that short. I do think unders is probably going to hit, but I'm not going to pick it at that price. So I thought if the unders is going to hit, that gives us 4 possible outcomes. It's 1-0 either way. It's 0-0 or it's 1-1. And neither of these teams win. In the last 30 games combined for each team, there's only 2 wins between them. So just take the draw here. 0-0 or 1-1 will do for me. 21-10 plus 210. AFC Wimbledon v Walsall to end in a draw. As I say, Walsall are full of draws. Neither team are winning. Low scoring affair gives you every chance of a draw. Bookies think it's low scoring. So take the draw and move on.
Okay, move on, Baz. What you got next?
So moving on, the final game in League Two, and for me in the EFL this week is Crawley Town versus Grimsby. Big game for Crawley at the bottom of the table. They sit 22nd. They're 1 place above the relegation spots, but they are 4 points clear. And this is a game in hand, so a chance for them to really open up a gap and ease the pressure a little bit. Grimsby are currently up in 15th and safe in mid-table there. The form table tells a different story for both of these. Say Crawley down in 22nd. If you look at the last 5 games, though, Crawley are 3rd in the form table and Grimsby 5th in the form table for the last 5 games. So there's been a real turnaround in form for Crawley lately. They are on a 4-game unbeaten run, 3 wins, 1 draw. Prior to that, they had lost 6 in a row and were winless in 8. So this last 4 games has been a real turnaround. Good bit of form at the right time of the season for them. Grimsby are unbeaten in 5 league games and just 1 defeat in the last 8 in the league. So 2 teams that are in reasonably good form. It's hard one to pick a winner from. 2 teams, as I say, who are avoiding defeat regularly at the moment. I think that the prices, if I had to have a lean, Crawley at home with the recent run of form they're on, are probably slightly better value, I think, at around 17 to 10. Did I give the prices out for these? 17 to 10 Crawley plus 170, 9 to 4 the draw plus 225, and 8 to 5 for Grimsby plus 160. But I'm going to go looking at the goals market again here. And the under 2.5 has hit in the last 3 games for Crawley. It's hit in 5 of the last 7 for Crawley. And for Grimsby, 6 in a row have gone under 2.5 goals. And it isn't juiced very much here. It's 17 to 20 for the under 2.5 goals. So minus 115. I'll take under 2.5 goals in the Crawley versus Grimsby game. I think it'll be a 1-0 either way or a low score and draw. So yeah, under 2.5 is the pick for me in that one.
Yeah, I think the bottom of this division is tight, and it tends to be low scoring. And I like Crawley. I like Crawley in this spot. Like I say, I spoke to my mate who works at Harrogate Town, and he said Crawley are in decent form, and he was right on Saturday because they won again on Saturday afternoon. So I'd be looking to tail that form. And Grimsby probably, they've got to have a little letdown spot as well after that FA Cup run came to an end the other day. So yeah, give me Crawley in that one. But yeah, the under 2.5 goals looks like a bet. Bars, anything else?
I've got a parlay on the internationals.
Yes, go on then.
As much as I'm very pessimistic about this international football, it would be rude not to pick a parlay out. So my treble here is France tomorrow to beat Republic of Ireland on the handicap. So I'll take France minus 1.5 versus Republic of Ireland. Spain to beat Scotland, and Norway to beat Georgia, much to your dismay. 6-1 treble for those 3. See where we go with that. So yeah, France on the handicap, France to win by 2 or more, Spain to beat Scotland, Norway to beat Georgia, 6-1.
I have a parlay, Baz. It is an international treble, Baz. My parlay is France to win in the Republic of Ireland, Spain to win in Scotland, and the third leg is going to be Croatia. So what could possibly go wrong? I mean, we're going to have to put a fucking 4-teamer on here, or you are, like France, Spain, Croatia.
Earlier, I was between Croatia and Norway for my final pick, so we almost had an identical treble there.
Yeah,
so I've been a bit bolder with France in the handicap, whereas you've gone a little bit from the ladies' menu. But you know, we'll let you
ever so slightly. But I'm the international expert, Baz. Let's be honest. So there you go. I think we made it to the end of the show, not without some technical issues, but majority of the people won't know about, and the people who were here to witness it probably really enjoyed me talking absolute bollocks, Baz, for that 4 minutes that you left me high and dry. And then the Premier League's back next week. I mean, busy week all around this week. Busy week on the network because MLB starts on Thursday. Opening day is Thursday. All the divisional series picks have gone out. We are doing the player awards tomorrow night. We're doing a World Series draft on Tuesday, and then it'll be your Common Old Garden pick show on Wednesday. So MLB stuff all week. I need to take Thursday off to set my 9 fantasy lineups because it's absolutely got me going cross-eyed. I am going to smash Captain Insano in the D-Gens League as well, so we'll keep you abreast of that. So loads of stuff going on. Yeah, and then Premier League next week, and it's a really good week as well, Baz. We've got the 12:30 game is Man City v Liverpool. We've got a couple of good bum fights in there down at the bottom end. We've got
Newcastle Man United.
Yeah, well, I haven't got to that yet. We got Palace Leicester, we got Forest Wolves, you got West Ham Southampton, and then we've got Newcastle v Man United, which is I was just saying while you were away there, Baz, that Sunday afternoon, so everyone's going to be a little bit extra beery. Because it's just a little bit of a later kickoff, so everyone's got time for an extra couple of pints rather than the 3 o'clock kickoff. And it's a bit of a revenge spot after the cup final fiasco. They've got no Casemiro. It's just set up like that cup final was absolutely set up for us to get beat. Next Sunday is set up for us to go and get stuck right into them, Baz. And I'm already a little bit pumped about it. So I might even catch you for a light ale. Are you taking the kids? Who are you going with?
Just me and Chloe, just a big one. I'm not sure if I'm around pre-match. It depends. At the moment, kids have got no football. If that's the case, I'll be heading up to Newcastle either Saturday night or early Sunday. If the kids have got football on Sunday morning, then it'll be finish football at midday and drive straight up for the match. So I'm hoping to get up there early. At the moment, there's no game scheduled, so I'm thinking I might be up early, in which case we'll catch up.
If we win, stick her in a taxi home and you can stop out with me and we'll get sozzled. That's what we'll do.
I'm up for a few days. I've got pretty much the week up there next week because Jamie, brother, is about to give, he's not about to give birth, but his other half is about to give birth to twins in the next week. So good. Champions League back next week too. See, you'll rightly point out. We'll probably do the show on Monday night because I'll probably be out and full of beer on Sunday. But yeah, we'll be back on Thursday anyway with our Premier League show. So thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for putting up with that little interlude and bearing with us. And if you're listening to the show, you've got no idea what I'm talking about. So remember, no problem at all. Remember, get on. It's good to see Nick in the chat tonight. A new name. More of those. Get more people involved in the YouTube. The more we can get chatting on there, the better it is for everyone. And of course, as always, like, rate, review, Spotify, Apple. Make sure you're giving us those reviews. It does help. It is appreciated.
Correct. Only a few more days of international stuff and we can get back to the meat and potatoes of the Premier League next weekend. Thanks everyone for listening. We appreciate it. Enjoy your week. Good luck with all your bets. Until Thursday, we'll see you down the road. Cheers.